Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Ihsan bin Radwal, metric number A22B0100. So I'm going to present about four scholars in management field. So the first one is Frederick Winslow Taylor. On March 20, 1856, Frederick Taylor was born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Although they lived simply in accordance with the Quaker religion's principles, his family was wealthy. Taylor's parents took him on a more than 3-year trip through Europe when he was a young child. After returning to the country, he attended a prestigious boarding school and intended to enroll at Harvard University until vision issues prevented him from doing so. Taylor joined Manufacturing Investment Company of Philadelphia in 1890 as general manager. He started his own company as an independent consulting engineer 3 years later. His main goal was to aid management in finding ways to increase productivity while reducing costs. Henry Fayol. In 1841, Henry Fayol was born in a neighborhood of Istanbul, Turkey. His father, an engineer, was chosen to serve as the project manager for the building of the Galata Bridge, a bridge spanning the Gold Horn. In 1847, the family moved back to France. In Saint-Étienne, he attended the École Nationale Supérieure des Mines to study mining engineering. At the age of 19, Henry Fayol began working as an engineer for the mining firm Compagnie de Coventry Forge Chamber de Salzville in Coventry. He was appointed managing director of this mining company, which had over 1,000 employees in 1888. Henry Fayol was excellent at leading his company through challenging times because of his practical knowledge and skill management abilities. About Mary Parker Follett. On September 3, 1868, she was born in Quincy, Massachusetts, United States. She received her education at the Thayer Academy in Braintree, Massachusetts, where she attributes many of her later concepts to one of her teachers. In 1900, Follett started volunteering as a social worker at the Roxbury Neighborhood House in Boston. She assisted in planning social, educational, and recreational events for working boys and girls, poor families, and her community. Follett rose to fame as a writer and lecturer in the business world in her later years. In 1933, she was a lecturer at the London School of Economics and gave personal organizational management counsel to President Theodore Roosevelt. And then about Max Weber. On April 21st, 1864, in Erfurt, a thriving commercial city in what is now central Germany, Maximilian Karl Emil Weber was born. He began studying law at the University of Heidelberg when he was 18 years old. Following in his father's footsteps, he eventually graduated from law school in 1889 and wrote a dissertation on the development of trading companies in the Middle Ages. They relocated to Heidelberg in 1896, where Weber continued to teach economics. He wrote and conducted research on economy and legal history. Frederick Winslow Taylor is known for his work on scientific management. Taylor is considered one of the pioneers of modern management theory, and his work has influenced the way that managers think about their roles and responsibilities. Taylor's work on scientific management was based on the belief that there was a one best way to perform tasks and that this way could be identified through carefully study and analysis. He argued that by using this approach, organizations could achieve significant improvements in productivity and efficiency. Taylor's work has helped to standardize and streamline work processes and has made it easier for organizations to manage their operations. While Henry Fayol is known for his work on the principles of management, His work was based on the idea that there are certain universal principles that govern the way that organizations should be managed. He identified a set of 14 principles of management that he believed were applicable to all organizations, regardless of their size of industry. These principles included the division of work, authority and responsibility, unity of direction, unity of command, subordination of individual interests to the general interest, remuneration, centralization, scalar chain, order, equity, stability of tenure, initiative, and unity of command. Mary Parker Follett is known for her work on participative management. Her work was based on the idea that organizations should be managed in a more collaborative and inclusive manner, with a greater emphasis on empowering employees and fostering a sense of shared responsibility and ownership. She believed that by involving employees in the decision-making process and by creating a more participative work environment, organizations could achieve better results and be more successful. Follett practiced these principles of coordination that helped develop her theory of management. There's a few elements that included in her management way. First one is direct communication. Direct communication between employees and managers helps business stay out of conflict and miscommunication. Second, initial stages. Every employee has a crucial role that supports others, so nobody should feel less significant or more important than the others. Third, reciprocal connection. Every employee has a duty to contribute and fit in with the rest of the team. And lastly, process that is ongoing. Don't just learn these principles and then disregard them. Apply them to all of your endeavors. While Max Weber is known for his work on bureaucracy management, his work on bureaucracy has had a significant impact too on the way that organizations are managed. His ideas about the importance of the formal rules and procedures have helped to create a more predictable and stable work environment. Plus, Weber's emphasis on the importance of hierarchy centralization has helped to clarify the roles and the responsibilities of managers and employees and has made it easier for organizations to achieve their goals. One of the main advantages of Taylor's work, they can control areas where a management methodology developed for closely selecting, training, and supervising them. They adhere to early working methods. Since scientific selection and training procedures come after, it results in the best workforce and boosts productivity. Then the standardization of methods, instrument tools, equipment and materials also led to an increase in efficiency. Developmental and scientific training benefits the employees as well because it allows them to improve their skills and knowledge. The application of scientific techniques results in better resource management, which raises productivity. With the theory, waste and inefficiency of all kinds were eliminated. It results in technology development as well with the aid of scientific research. And the third, careful time and motion studies eliminate delays, prevent physical strain on the workers, eliminate waste, and thereby increase worker productivity and ensure resource utilization with the least amount of waste. Taylor's approach to management has also been criticized for being overly mechanistic and for stifling creativity and innovation. By focusing on efficiency and productivity, Taylor's approach may not be well suited to organizations that place a higher value on collaboration and empowerment. In today's business environment, there is a growing recognition of the importance of empowering employees and fostering a sense of shared responsibility and ownership. Then scientific management prioritizes productivity over employees' health and welfare. without corresponding structural changes to the organization and working condition. Simply speeding up the workforce won't result in higher output. Instead, it will only harm employees' mental health. Lastly, the critic of scientific management also argue that scientific management creates unemployment and hits the workers hard as a consequence of the adoption of labor-saving devices both in the machinery and in the arrangement of both. Advantages from Henry Fayol's way is it provides a clear and concise framework for understanding the basic principles of management. The five functions he identified: planning, organizing, commanding, coordinating, and controlling are still widely used today as the foundation for many management theories and practice. This framework allows managers to understand the essential elements of managing an organization, and it provides a structure for organizing and analyzing the various aspects of management. Fayol also emphasized the importance of division of work. According to Fayol, work should be divided among the individuals and group to ensure that effort and attention are focused on special portions of the task. This principle aims to increase efficiency by allowing each person to become highly skilled in the specific task, thus reducing the time and effort required to complete it. Then plans establish performance benchmarks. Planning identifies desired result as well as benchmark for measuring progress. These offer a benchmark for determining when things are moving forward and when they require correction. While the disadvantages is its foundation is mechanistic understanding of organization, the emphasis on result, effectiveness, and control in management in Fayol's method may not be suitable for all organizations. This point of view is contested due to the complexity of human behavior and the fact that it's not always possible to predict all the variables in an organization. Then planning prevents action. Managers can become so focused on planning and trying to plan for every eventuality that they never get around to implementing the plans. This is called death by planning. Planning does little good if it does not lead to the other functions. Lastly, plans forbid adaptability. Although well thought out, plans can encourage flexibility. The opposite is also possible. Mid-level and lower-level managers might be believed that they must stick to a plan even if their experience indicates it is failing. They will continue to invest time and resources in ineffective actions rather than bringing issues to the attention of senior managers so that changes can be made. Advantages of Mary Parker's way is it highlights the importance of relationships and interaction in organization. She believed that organizations are not just collection of individuals and functions, but also network of relationships and interaction. This emphasis on relationships and interaction is still important today as managers must understand and manage the complex web of relationships within an organization in order to achieve organization's goals. Next, emphasize the importance of collaboration and cooperation in management. She believed that organizations should be based on the principle of collective action, where individuals and groups work together to achieve common goals. Lastly, it boosts group spirit. Every team member has a voice when the leader is engaged. Employees are more engaged and motivated at work because they actively contribute to the company's success. However, the disadvantages is it overly idealistic and may not be practical for many organizations. Her emphasis on relationship and interaction may not be feasible in all organizations, especially in large bureaucratic organizations where rules and procedures are strictly followed. Additionally, her approach may be difficult to implement in organizations where employees are not motivated to participate in decision making and power sharing. Then it increases the likelihood of conflict. When multiple people are voicing differing opinions, conflict is likely to happen. While conflict doesn't necessarily have to be negative, participative leaders must be prepared to handle disagreements when they arise. Lastly, participatory management can prolong the decision-making process because they want all team members' opinions on the matter at hand. This kind of leader might take too long to decide on something when it's urgent. Advantages of Max Weber's way is it provides a clear framework of understanding the principles of bureaucracy. Weber defined bureaucracy as a formal system of organization and administration characterized by a hierarchical structure, formal rules and regulations, and a focus on efficiency and rationality. It emphasizes the importance of formal rules and regulation in organizations. In order to ensure efficiency and rationality, Weber thought that organization should be built on a system of formal rules and regulations. The rules and procedures are decided of every work it leads to consistency in employees' behavior. Since employees are bound to follow the rules, etc., the management process become easy. And lastly, it makes things predictable. There is an objective to fulfill in a bureaucracy. The main objective that must be achieved is predetermined. Then guidelines are established so that those who are a part of the structure can work towards the end in a particular way. Although there will always be some degree of randomness in any system because people make mistakes, the rules incorporated into this structure make future outcomes more predictable than they would be without them. However, Weber's work has been criticized for being too theoretical and not providing practical guidelines for managers. His approach is based on a formal and rigid view of organizations, which may not be suitable for all organizations, especially in today's complex and dynamic business environment. The employees become so used to the system, they resist to any change and introduction of new techniques of operation. Then there is less freedom to act or make independent decisions in a bureaucracy because rules and laws dictate how a worker must behave. What the laws of rules desire determines how things are done. Even if it is the right thing to do, a worker who violates those rules or laws without authorization risks facing repercussion like losing their job or even going to jail. It also reduces the opportunity to quickly adapt to changing circumstances. Changes to a business or global government landscape can be challenging because a bureaucracy is so dependent on rules and regulations to adapt to the new environment that have emerged. A bureaucracy must take time to draw out new rules and regulations. In fact, it might take so long that bureaucracy had not adjusted to the first evolution before a second one occurs. It will no longer be relevant if enough market changes occur before a business or government make an adjustment. For me, I think the similarities between these four scholars of management is that they try to work together and emphasize the mutual collaboration between employers and employees, even though in different ways, in order to get the expected result. In conclusion, the work of Frederick Winslow Taylor, Henry Fayol, Mary Parker Fowler, and Max Weber has had a massive impact on the field of management. Each of these management theories has contributed unique ideas and perspectives to the understanding of organizations and how they can be managed effectively. However, I personally would prefer Henry Fayol's principle of management approach it because I believe it would be advantageous for us to make a decision after careful planning. In order to avoid making any mistakes, we must carefully discuss and plan. Thank you.